Okay, so I'm doing some not homework problems, but some problems from the back of the book for our chapter 19, and I'll do it for the other chapters as well. So I'm doing 19-4, and we're using activity-based costing to kind of calculate some costs here. So we have two people that are planning a skiing trip, and here's what they estimate for as far as the food, the skiing, and the lodging. So David eats more, and he clearly doesn't ski. So what we want to do is we want to figure out the cost per pound, the cost per ski ticket, and the cost per lodging. So the first thing to do is to figure out the cost per pound of food. So food. So we have a total cost of 600 for food. Okay. And we're going to figure out how much it is per pound. Well, let's see how many pounds we have. We have Billy that's eating 22 pounds and David that's eating 28 pounds, so 50 pounds. So the cost per pound of food is 12 pounds. We're going to do the same thing for the ski lift tickets, I guess. So the cost for the ski lift tickets is 210, and they're going to be 3. So the cost per ticket is going to be $70. And then finally, we're going to do lodging. So the total cost of lodging is 200. Seems kind of like a good deal. And then we have a total of 8 nights, 4 for each one. So the cost per night per person is $25. So in this case, what we can do is we can apply each of these to each person to see if the cost would be the same if they just divided it in half. So let's look at Billy first. So his food, he plans on eating 22 pounds of food, and the cost per pound was 50. That's a lot of food, it seems like, but what do I know? So, oh, I'm sorry. I mean 12, not 50. So 264. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. For skiing, it's going to be $70 per ticket, and he's going to have 3 tickets. And then for lodging, he's going to have 4 nights, and it's $25 per night. So his total cost is going to be $574. So then when we look at David, for his food, he is planning on eating 28 pounds, $12 a pound. So we've got 336. For skiing, he's going to have 0 tickets. He's just eating, not skiing. And then for lodging, he's going to have 4 nights at $25. So that's $100. So his total is $436. Now, if you just split this into 2, the total cost was $1,010 was the total. And if you just divided it by 2, it would be $505 a person. So Billy would be not paying enough and David would be paying too much if you just use regular costing system for this. So that's how you do activity-based costing. So let's do another one, and this is 19-5. Similar concept. So we have the setup costs, and then we have the maintenance and the indirect manufacturing costs. So they're going to produce 200 units of product A and 300 products of product B. So let's go ahead and figure out what our costs are going to be. using activity-based costing. All right, so we have setups, and I think we said what are the cost of our setups here. Cost is $105,000. And then we have machine maintenance. Cost of that is $60,000. I think I have an extra zero on this one. And then we have indirect manufacturing costs. And that is our total. So 165,000 is going to be our total. So for the setups, the way we're going to allocate this is how many setups we have. And then for machine maintenance, it's going to be the total number of machine hours. Okay. So let's go ahead and figure out what our costs are going to be for each product. So we have product A, product B. Okay. So let's do, just to set this up a little bit. So we have direct labor, and then we have number of setups, and then we have number of machine hours. All right. So using a predetermined overhead rate, I want to figure out the cost of the setups and the cost of the machine maintenance. So for the setups, we have, let's just figure it out up here. So we have a total of 105,000. And between A and B, it looks like we have how many setups? We have a total of 200. So our setup cost is $525 per setup. And then let's talk about machine hours. So I think it said 60 machine hours. And between A and B, we have a total of 4,000 machine hours. So it's $15 per machine hour. Okay. So let's go ahead and apply that to each of our items. So for product A, we have the setup costs. So for number of setups for product A, it's 20 times our 525. And then for product B, we have 180 setups times our 525. And then for machine hours, for product A, it's going to be 960 times the $15 we just determined. And then for product B, it's going to be 3,040 times the $15 that we just determined. So these are our two costs that we have already allocated here. So let's go ahead and find a cost. So 24,900 and 140,100 for product B. So then the last piece of this is to go ahead and figure out what it is per unit. So I'm just going to take this cost and divide it by the 200 units that A is making. And I'm going to take this cost and divide it by the 300 units of product B. So cost per unit for product A is $124.50, and for product B, $467.